Hello, beautiful soul. I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. Wanted to come on here today to touch upon the craziness that's going on in the world right now, but we're not going to be focusing on that because this is not what we want to be focusing on. We want to be focusing on what really matters. And the fact of the matter is, with everything that's being bombarded with us right now, especially in the media, because everything in the media is planned to siphon our energy in some which way or another. And it's really important for every single one of us to remember that when we do not feel safe and when our nervous system is going crazy and we're in fear and we're in anger and all of this distortion is happening, that's when our energy leaks. So it's really important for us to be very discerning as to where we are putting our energy and where we are essentially spending our attention. Are we spending our attention or are we investing our attention? This is the question. Most people are spending. They're spending their time, they're spending their attention, they're spending their energy, they're spending their efforts. Hello, whoever's hopped on, I hope you're well. I'm sending you love. It doesn't tell me who it is. Most people are spending their time, their energy, their efforts and their attention. They're not thinking about where they're putting it. And the way in which we fight in this spiritual war on our consciousness and on our energy right now is by being very aware of where we are putting all of our time, energy, attention and effort. And we must be investing it. Investing it is where we actually think, okay, well, where is this going to compound for me? When we spend something, we're not going to get it back. Yeah, so think about it like money. When you spend money, you're not going to get it back. However, when you invest money and you invest it on an asset, it's going to compound for you and you're going to make a return from it and you're going to get it back. And this is the same when it comes to your time, your energy, your effort and your attention. So with everything that's going on in the world right now, especially in the media and on social media, because they do also use social media to siphon our energy. They control the algorithms, and this is also why it's really important that we're very aware of our algorithm and that we curate it in a way that benefits us. And there is a way in which we can do that. For instance, on any post that you don't want to see, the 3 dots, you can press not interested, or you can unfollow, or you can block or unfriend, and just don't engage with the posts that you don't want to see. Don't even look through the comments, because it's not worth your time, your energy and your attention. Because if it makes your nervous system and if it makes your internal environment and your energy distorted and angry and feeling unsafe, then that's where your energy is going to leak. And this is what they want, whoever they are. That's speculation. It doesn't really need to be spoken about. It's just the fact of the matter that our energy is being siphoned, and it has been for centuries. And the way in which we combat this is by being very aware of what's going on and directing our energy and our focus towards what matters. Now, what matters? We do. Our safety, our security, our love, the life in which we desire to create for ourselves and for our family, the betterment of ourselves and our family, the safety of ourselves and our family, the nourishment and the security and the safety within our relationships. This is what matters, is creating a life full of love and nourishment and kindness and safety and security and light. And the way in which we do that is by doing the work to go within, to look in the mirror, to understand where any internal discordance or disharmony is coming from and why it's happening. Because a reason why every single one of us point, blame, judge, criticize, attack, defend, whatever that may be, is because of something that's going on internally in which we feel the need to externalize it to make ourselves feel better. It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. And when we reclaim that's not what I wanted to say. When we take ownership and accountability for the way that we feel, then that's when we can look in the mirror and we can start to make shifts for ourselves. So ultimately we can create a better future in our own external environment, and ultimately within our families, which ultimately ripples out to our communities, which ultimately will ripple out to the world. This is a person by person thing. It's a marathon, it's not a race. However, the more that we expand our awareness and the more we have conversations about this in a way that feels comfortable for us, then the more this knowledge ripples and expands and radiates out, so we can support our tribe in creating better within the world. It's only been over the last few years that people have been becoming more aware of how powerful this work is in shifting our realities, and we still have a ways to go, and at the same time it's happening at rapid speed, which is really, really beautiful. And the way in which we quote unquote fight is by stopping fighting ourselves. A lot of the times we're fighting ourselves, and then this is why we're pointing and projecting and blaming, because we're running away and fighting whatever's going on within, and we're blaming everything outside of us, when in actual fact, it's all within. It's all either a lack of love, a lack of self-trust, maybe we're abandoning ourselves, a huge disconnection from our source of power. And it's not our fault. There's no judgment or shame here, because I came from this. When I started my journey back in 2017, I was really at my rock bottom in all of the ways. I was so disconnected from myself and my power. I've always been quite strong, really grateful for that. However, because of the system that I was born in, ultimately I was disconnected from my power, which is inevitable. That's just the way that the system is designed. And for the people that say the system's broken, the system's not broken. The system is working exactly how it's been designed to work, to control and manipulate the masses. And once we start to see, then we get to unplug. We get to be aware of what's going on, but we also get to unplug, so we protect our nervous system. Because if we're continually consuming what's going on, then that's going to create feelings of unsafety within us, which ultimately that's how they siphon our energy. Because whatever is currently, I mean, they're not really controlling anymore. They're loosening their grip, but because they're loosening their grip, they're tightening their grip. And this is why the darkness is continuing to come out in various different ways, because they want to bring people back in, because people are becoming much more aware of what's going on. So the way in which they do that is by bombarding us with all of this toxicity and trauma to get into our psyche, to ultimately cause us to feel unsafe, which siphons our energy. And this is what they feed off. So yes, be aware of what's going on, and at the same time unplug, because you know that it's not good for you. It's not good for your nervous system. It's not good to consume. And then focus on what you know is good for you and your family and your future. This is how we ultimately fight. This is how the light wins, is by completely shifting our focus towards what actually really matters, which is love and connection and collaboration and community and coming together to build a better future. It's not a time for us to be passive anymore. This is not a time for us to be passive. Every single one of us must step into our own sense of self-leadership so we can protect what matters, which is the children. We not only create a better life for ourselves, we create a better life for the children, because they inherit what we leave behind. And it's our duty, it's our responsibility to leave behind much better than what we inherited. And I'm so grateful. Thankfully, I walked into a very beautiful inheritance with my family and everything that I was provided with. And now it's a case of creating better and creating better. And this is what we get to do for our lineage. This is our responsibility for the reason that we came here. And we've been provided by so much. We've been provided so much by our foremothers and forefathers who came before us, and everything that was built within our society, and everything that's available to us with the way in which we live and the technology that we have. And now it's a case of upgrading our consciousness, upgrading our awareness, upgrading our emotional capacity and our emotional intelligence, because this is ultimately what's going to create a better future, not only for ourselves but for our children, which will subsequently eradicate all of this bullshit and darkness and trauma and toxicity that's going on in the world right now. The aim is to get rid of fighting and wars. And that might seem like a long shot right now, however, it is very doable. When we adopt emotional intelligence, and when we expand our emotional capacity, and when we're able to listen to understand rather than listen to attack or defend, when we're able to really listen to understand the humanity behind every human and the story behind every human, we can understand. That doesn't necessarily make things right, but we can understand, and then we can move forward in a way that benefits everyone. This is where we're going to right now. Things are breaking down for a reason, because the old way, it's not sustainable for this new level of consciousness that we're all stepping into and expanding into. And this is our responsibility right now. This is our responsibility. And we don't have to do it alone. We've got each other. We've got each other. I've been on this path, like I said, since 2017, and I've created a whole ecosystem to support my tribe in this work, alongside building a regenerative business that's centered around true health, true freedom and sovereignty, where you get to plug into a global mission, and at the same time you also get to do this internal work to be able to lead in the best way for yourself and your family, and ultimately your soul tribe as well. And with that, I also do standalone sessions as well. I have look in the mirror sessions, which really enable you to look at yourself. I hold really beautiful safe space, so you get to see yourself and your patterns, so you can refine in the best way moving forward for yourself and everyone in your life, and ultimately the direction in which you take yourself for the future in which you're creating. So I have standalone sessions, and on top of that, I have long-term containers available as well. So you're not alone. It's crazy right now. I know everything that's going on is nuts. Do everything that you can to unplug. Stay aware, of course, because you don't want to bury your heads in the sand. No one wants to bury their head in the sand. But at the same time, you really must look after the way that you feel, and also the way that you think. Because the way that you feel and the way that you think is ultimately creating your external reality. And if you find that your external reality that you're experiencing right now is a bit tumultuous, it's because of what's going on internally and the way in which you're choosing to lead yourself in your life because of what's going on internally. So it's time to reclaim the power and the trust back within yourself in every single area, so you can create harmony in every single area of your life. It's available, it's attainable, I'm living proof of it, and you can do it as well. Okay, that's me done for the day. I hope you're well. My inbox is open and I'm sending you so much love. Have a good day.